Shalom. Shalom. Give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles for the edification of knowledge. And to Wadi Al Ba'ashem Yashah for putting the spirit of the elders and apostles so he can learn his truth and know this truth and learn this truth. Call Holy El Yah Ba'ashem Yashah, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. Give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashah, Ba'ashem, Makakadash. It's a little crux talking about military spenders, because we're in a time where these nations are building up. Scripture talk about Matthew 24, hearing of wars and hearing rumors of wars. These are top 15 military spenders. Canada, 26.4 billion. Iran, 24.6 billion. Israel, 24.3 billion. United Kingdom, 68.4 billion. Russia, 65.9. China, 293. United States, 801, which is number one. The top three would be United States, UK, China, Russia. Actually, United States, China, UK. Then you have Russia. So they are big ones, as far as the military spending. But the United States they spend the most in the world regarding their military, man. Let's continue on. It's United Kingdom, 68.4, Russia, 65.9, 293, China, Japan, 54.1, South Korea, 50.2, 31.8, Australia. Then you have Saudi Arabia, 55.6, France, 56.6, Germany, 56.0, 32.0, Italy, and India, 76.6. So these are top military spenders. It's a crux report. We're in that time of war, man. These nations building up relating to Joel 3. Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So you're going to hear of wars, rumors of wars. You're going to see nations building up, doing drills, simulations, practicing drills, simulation, warlike simulations and drills. So these nations are preparing. So I'm going to show off their military paraphernalia or arsenal to show how tough they are. You know what I mean? You're seeing nations shooting their, testing their missiles, the Cermat, which is Russia. You know, the hypersonic glide missile. So they're going to show off relating to basically their powers, man. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. The end is not yet. Because all these things, hearing of wars and rumors of wars, are part of relating to the latter times regarding prophecy, man. So you're gonna hear such things, man. You're gonna see such things relating to the tensions of these nations, man. Building of these nations. That's why all these nations are spending the most they can in their military arsenal, because they're preparing for ultimately what's to come, man. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in different places. You see in earthquakes, pestilence, which are plagues, famines, food droughts, food shortages, supply shortages, nation against nations. You see the tensions between the nations. For example, Israel and Palestinians, man. Israel and Iran, all these nations' tensions, kingdom against kingdom, superpowers versus superpowers, man. All these are the beginnings of what? Sorrows, man. We in the latter stages of the beginnings of sorrows. This is the latter end of it. Let's go to we'll go to Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. So it's a time and season, and according to that purpose of that time and season. Number 8, let's go down a time to love, a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. We're in that time of the precursors of time of war, man, because you're seeing tensions, you're seeing war happening. For example, Russia and Ukraine, man, continuation, man. Been over 2 months, it's still continuing, man. So we in the time of war. We're not in the time of love, man. This goes to relating to everything according to a purpose, according to the time and season when things happen, man. So according to that time and season that we're in now, we're in a time of war. We in time of tensions. We in time of nations building up their military, building up, practicing regarding their military, showing off their military arsenal, showing who's trying to intimidate one another, seeing who's pretty much the bigger superpower on the block. So all these nations are building up regarding that. Shalak. I'll go to number 4. A time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to mourn, man. It's a time where it's mourning because it's war. Proverbs 29 talk about when the righteous are in authority, people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, people mourn. So people are mourning, man. We're in times of prophecies being played out, man. So times of war, times of calamities. Many great misery shall happen in the latter times because they walk great in pride. So ultimately, the wickedness, the pride regarding their wickedness is causing all these calamities because the Lord is beginning to visit the earth which He has made, man. So He's allowing these calamities to come on the people, man, relating to judgments, man, different diversities of judgment upon the people. So the people are mourning, man. And just from a natural state, because Job 9:24, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked. Because the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, and the people have to bear the rule of that of the ones in the position of power. They're mourning, man, because everything is topsy-turvy, upside down, man. Scripture says, man, everything is out of course, man. For evil is good and good is evil, man. Related to Isaiah 5:20. So everything is out of course, man. Everything, the air, the water, the food. It's contaminated. It's been tainted. It's been tainted. So it's not a good season, man. So it's a time to mourn. That's Ecclesiastes 3 and 4. Let's go to 2 Ezra 9. And he answered me then and said, measure thou time diligently in itself. How you measure the time? The things that's going on in society, correlating it with the scriptures, according to prophecy. And when thou seest the parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. So these things were spoken thousands and thousands of years ago, relating to a generational experience, relating to the signs that's happened, regarding the signs that will be happening in the latter times. That generation would experience that. And that generation will not pass until these signs are fulfilled fully, man. Shalom. Then shall thou understand it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which He has made. So that's what's happened. The Lord is beginning to visit the world which He has made, because it's prophecy time. We're in those times where things would be happening, man. Scripture talk about fearful sights and signs in the heavens, man. I believe that's in Luke 21. You seeing that, man. The darkness above, you know. But you're seeing different fearful sights and signs, man. Different calamities and different things happen all over the world. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, you're seeing a lot of earthquakes, uproars of the people, civil unrest, insurrections. There was an article, Norway was blocking, relating to Russian oil. Norway protests were blocking regarding Russian oil. I seen in a report on the internet. So you're seeing protests over a variety of different issues, financial, economical, social. Number 4, and then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee. So these things were spoken before, even from the beginning. So these things were spoken from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning, the beginning would be the Alpha, and the end, and the end is manifested. So the end is beginning to be made manifest and known, man, which is the Omega, man. Alpha the beginning, Omega the end, man. For the Lord is the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega. So these signs are beginning to manifest, man, because we're in that time and season, man, according to his purpose, to this time and season relating to the Lord's judgment, man, upon the earth, man, for their wickedness. Number 6, even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and in effects and signs. Let's go to and it said, behold, this is 2 Ezra 6 and 18, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh. So the Lord is drawing nigh. We in those days that the Lord is drawing nigh. Drawing nigh to what? Execute pretty much judgment upon the earth. He's beginning to visit the earth which he has made. And to visit them that dwell upon the earth. That's the inhabitants of the world, man. Number 19, I will begin to make the inquisition of them let's read again, and I will begin to make an inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. Who has hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, man? That's the wicked. That's the ones in power. For Job 9:24, the earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. For when Scripture talk about 29 and 2, when the wicked beareth rule, the last part of it, when the wicked beareth rule, people mourn, man. So that's the ones that the Lord has an indignation, which is a righteous judgment upon. He has a controversy with them, man. And I will begin to make an inquisition of them with what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. 20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away. This world is beginning to vanish away, man. When you look out the windows relating to Ecclesiastes 12, I believe in 3, when you look out of the windows, it's darkened. That means lack of not hope or future, man. And that's Babylon, man. It's beginning to slowly vanish away, man. That mirth and joy, and that once liveliness of hustle and activity is beginning to vanish away. The world is beginning to vanish away. We are slowly transitioning to another phase, man. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then I will shew these signs. I will shew these tokens, which are signs, and the book shall be opened before the firmament heavens, and they shall see all together. 21. We go to 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall be found empty, like I was saying earlier. Food shortages, precursors of famine, drought even, supply shortages. We in that stage, man. So the storehouses are suddenly, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So the supplies are becoming very scarce, man. The victuals, man, they're becoming very scarce, man. It's going to come a time they're going to be completely, pretty much, out of stock. Let's continue on. And the trumpet shall give a sound, and when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. So it's going to have a certain distinct sound, but it's going to be terrifying, man. 24. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So friends are going to be enemies in that time, because there's going to come a time in society, go with 2nd Ezra 15, 14 through 19, where people are not going to be so friendly towards each other. They already are not, but it's going to come a time where friends are going to become enemies, man, because the dynamic of society is going to be in a certain way where it's going to change and bring out the true personality of these people that try to mask behind a pretend friendship, man. And basically, when the society gets cut down, shut down, you're going to see the true nature of these people come out, man. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. And the springs, so it's going to stand in fear, because pretty much the things that's going to be happening on the earth, man, it's going to be the state and condition of society, how it's going to be, man. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. That's those physical waters, man. Also, the waters of knowledge are going to be cut too, man. Famine the word, Amos 8 and 11. But those physical waters, man, that faucet is going to be shut, man. That faucet of flowing water of knowledge is going to be shut as well, man. Whosoever remaineth from all these things I have told thee shall escape, and see my salvation enter this world. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning that follows. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, man. We in the beginning stages at the end of his world, related to his rulership, man. And Jacob, which is the supplanter, he's going to replace and take over, man, as Scripture says. So that's the times we're coming into, man, because all good rulerships eventually have an end. Just like the previous respectful rulerships, Babylon, Medo-Persia, the Greece, the Roman Empire, this is the continuation of that through the what they call it Greco-Roman, or Roman continuation of the Roman Empire, through the emergence of America, pretty much 2.0 through America, with a new flavor and version of that ancient pagan Rome empire, man. Because it's the continuation related to Daniel's, that the 12 partly strong, partly weak. So partly strong, partly weak. That clay, and let me get it real quick. clay and iron. Shalakia. I'll get it. Partly clay and iron. So, and it doesn't mix, man, because they're two different. They're contrary to one another. So that leaves that vulnerability, man. And that's what's happening. And these nations don't mix anyway. They only for their own interest, their own agenda, pretending, and they work with each other for their own interest and agenda, ultimately. Because really, none of them are friends to one another like that. It's about business in the end of the day, the business and interests of their respective countries. And whereas thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with a seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. So they're not going to cleave to one another, man. It relates to that the Iron Kingdom, man. The Kingdom of Iron, which is the continuation of Rome. That's the last one, man. Relating to this that statue, man. So they're not going to be able to mingle together, man, because they're two opposite components, man, that don't mix. So there's the scriptures relating to regarding the times we're in. There's an article relating to how the Russian partners, they want to not use the euro and the dollar, man. So that's going to eventually affect the dollar, man. They're trying to de-dollarization of the dollar, man. So there's an article relating to RT talking about how they want the Russian partners, they want to shy away from the dollar. And a lot of countries want to, man, because they're tired of the dollar trying to dictate policy and rule over their interests, man. So you seeing these nations, they're going to ultimately turn against one another, man. And ultimately, scriptures talk about that they're going to turn against the whore, man. They're going to burn her with fire, which is the missiles, man. And that's what's going to happen, man. These nations, the Lord is going to put that spirit on them to do that, man. This was something short. I want to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yoshua Bashem Rakakadash. I hope it helps whoever listens in some way. This is Brother Zayah, which means wolf. I hope it helps. Shalom. Thanks.